Hello, everyone. Good evening. I promised it worked during sound check. It's a great video. So now you're just going to have to follow us. We're on Instagram and Facebook. Follow the Santa Paula Chamber of Commerce to see the video. Well, I get the honor and privilege tonight to introduce our keynote speaker. Leslie Cornejo was elected to the Santa Paula City Council in 2020. She currently serves as mayor of Santa Paula. Her groundbreaking election marked a turning point in Santa Paula's electoral history, with Leslie securing over 5,000 votes, the highest in the city's records. In the business sphere, Leslie and her husband Enrique have been the proud owner and operator of the Santa Paula Travel Service on Main Street since 1988. Furthermore, Leslie played a pivotal role as the founding director of the Santa Clara Valley Bank and later served as chairman of the board through the merger with Bank of the Sierra. Educationally, Leslie holds a BA in Spanish and ESL bilingual education from UC Irvine and has enriched her cultural understanding through studies in Costa Rica and Mexico. Fluent in Spanish, she ensures inclusivity and effective communication within the community. Leslie's commitment to community service spans over a decade. Since 2008, she has been an integral director of the Ventura County Fairgrounds, including a distinguished term as board president for 5 years. Her contributions extend to Seroptimus International of Santa Paula, where she actively served for 15 years, and her role as the first vice president of the Santa Paula Police and Fire Foundation, alongside co-chairing Moonlight at the Ranch, the fundraiser, for 3 years. Drawing on her business acumen and governance experience, Leslie champions public safety agencies, endeavoring to bolster their capacity to safeguard the community. She remains steadfast in her dedication to enhancing the local business environment, expanding the tax base to uplift quality of life for all Santa Paulans. On a personal front, Leslie and Enrique find joy in their roles as parents to 3 sons and proud grandparents to 5 grandchildren. With a passion for travel and exploration, Leslie has journeyed to over 60 countries, relishing an opportunity to organize and lead groups to new destinations. It is my honor to introduce one of my dearest friends, Mayor Leslie Cornejo.
Wow, a lot of people out here. It's an honor to be here. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you to the Chamber. It's an amazing organization. It always has been. It just gets better and better with everyone in this room. We have quite the program. You know, the State of the City is kind of long. I'll try and make it as enjoyable as possible. Before I start, as I came in, Councilmember Juarez said, break a leg, which sent me into a flashback because about 20 years ago, I emceed an event and fell off the stage. It's a longer, funny story we don't have time for tonight, but I promise you I enjoyed telling that story. I only broke a toe. I often open remarks with the line that we are often overlooked here in Santa Paula and underestimated. I'm here to show you why we should not be underestimated. We are going to do a program. I think Jonathan is going to move along the slides for me. Are you ready? Where are you? He's good. Okay. There's a theme that we'd like to talk about tonight, which is unity in our community. It's something that I've really felt growing more and more in recent years, that when things happen in our city of import, everyone shows up. And we're all together. We may have some differences on opinions on certain things. It doesn't matter. Overall, the most important thing is Santa Paula and our community and being united in causes. And I think that we're impressing our neighbors in other places with our example. We are working hard to create partnerships to achieve the goals that are set by council. We are earning support of others, and we're earning the trust because when we promise something, we come through. And so we can be depended on upon as a community. We're working very hard to deliver streamlined services to the community, and the partnerships that we are forming are enabling us to do that. You'll see many forms and levels of partnerships that we have formed, and that really is the theme of the evening, is our partnerships. Being a small community, we are always challenged by revenue, and so we need to find partners and build that trust so that we can bring in other revenues to take care of the things that are important to us. We have many goals and projects that we can't afford being a small city. Earlier this year, the deputy city manager, Jonathan, and I went to Washington, D.C., actually to work with our legislators, give a face for Santa Paula, to ask for assistance on projects. It's not the first time. Councilmember Andy Sobel went last year. It's a very good program to make sure that we are speaking directly to our representatives and pleading our case. As a result of that, the work that's been done, not just this last trip, but over the last few years, we were able to bring in $2 million towards the Harvard project, of which we'll talk a bit more later. $1 million, and that was through Congresswoman Julia Brownley. $1 million through Congresswoman Brownley and Senator Padilla for the Mesa tanks, which is not a very glamorous project. We have two very old water tanks on a hill. We're literally coming apart. And we couldn't kick that can down the road. We had to have that done. And we received $1 million toward that project. And it's about halfway done, maybe even more so. So you may not notice those tanks, but they're going to be new, and they ensure safe water and a good water product for us from those tanks. In addition, we worked with the Department of Transportation in getting a planning grant for Safe Streets for All so that we can work on our sidewalks and our corners for ADA. And so that will enable us, if we have a plan, to go back for more funding. So a lot of this has to do with funding, which is pretty important. So let's see, moving on. Then we have state. We're working with our state legislators. We have regular meetings with Senator Monique Limon and Assemblymember Steve Bennett. Through those programs and discussions, we have gained money towards the Spirit Homeless Shelter for some repairs and enhancements to that, including showers and offices, caseworks offices, for $1.5 million. We received $1 million towards our sports park so that we can get that done. We also have over $700,000 from the California State Water Arrearage Program, which helped cover water back payments that when so many people were unable to pay their water bills because of COVID. So we were able to help and get assistance for that. And then in addition, a low-income household water assistance. Let's see. And I also would like to thank, in that water assistance program, there were a number of agencies that helped get the word out and help people get relief when they couldn't catch up on their water bills. Amongst them, the Community Action of Ventura County, Poder Popular, Promotoras y Promotores, and the Latino Town Hall. And we're grateful for all of their assistance. Moving on to county. And we have a number of our county representatives here for whom we're always grateful and find are always available to us when we need. And we appreciate that very, very much. In October of 2022, almost 2 years ago, County Supervisor Kelly Long and the Board of Supervisors supported the remodel of the Community Center and Senior Center in approximately $100,000. And then another $250,000 towards the Boys and Girls Club restrooms. Yes. Which is really important. It was really a fun ribbon cutting because they used toilet paper for the ribbon to cut. So, yeah, it was hilarious, but it was very, very important, though. Those kids are just very appreciative of that, too. We also have received a county grant or a VCTC grant in $1.5 million towards the community bike trail expansion. So we have a part of it, we will be able to expand that. And $400,000 matching funding to support the Spirit Homeless Shelter. We worked in partnership when it was in danger of failing, and we partnered with the city of Fillmore, our city, with matching funds from the county in order to keep the doors open and keep those important services going. In our city, there's almost an organization per person. There are so many people interested in helping. You can see how many organizations are out there ready to assist and help their neighbors. And in addition to the individual organizations there, the Santa Paula Social Services Coalition has probably another 50, so that there is a network that has been created of services to help people in need. And so we're very proud of that. Some of them to highlight have even already been mentioned tonight. The WEAVE program, the EDC, the Santa Paula Police and Canine, the Odd Fellows, Rotary. We can go on, and they're not all up here either, but it just warms your heart to see how many people give of their time and their resources to help each other in our community. So in this fiscal year, we have served 16,434 meals, nearly 10,000 to homebound seniors, and 7,150 served at the senior center. And these are not frozen meals. They have wonderful cooks that cook fresh meals that are served to everyone. So it's really a special, special project that we're involved in. With the school district, our Parks and Rec works together, with a wonderful partnership to work with the school district so that the kids can go to summer school in the morning and then transition to afternoon activities through the Parks and Rec so that they are in care all day with productive, educational, and fun activities. It's an amazing partnership. It started with just a few dozen, and now we're serving over 400 kids in the summertime. This is wonderful for the kids, and it's a great help to the families that are working and need to know that their kids are in a good place while they're working. We also have the after-school program. Hundreds of Santa Paula children use the free after-school and summer school programs as a result of the partnership, again, with the school district. Communication with the school district is fantastic. It's better than I think it's been in a long time. And that way we can work together on priorities. We work with the Chamber of Commerce, who, as you can see, is amazing, vital, important organization to our city. And again, they've mentioned already, but I would mention as well the local business roundtable. The attendance is growing. It's becoming a wonderful network. I attend whenever I can as a business owner. And they are providing all of these workshops and mentoring, as already Gloria Martinez had mentioned. that's a thanks to our community for all that they do. It's just extraordinary. The line they were standing in, though, that wasn't to check in. That was for the burritos afterwards from Garden Market. To engage our community, we have just started a Santa Paula Future Leaders Academy. This is new for us. It's a wonderful program that we hope to be an annual academy. This year we have 18 participants. The goal is to inspire and encourage participants to learn more about their city government and remain engaged through volunteerism. They become ambassadors, they understand our city. We all learn from each other. They bring more to our city. And I sat in on one of the sessions. It's just a really great program. And I think a lot of great things will come from those who go through the 10-week program and learn about our city. I see future volunteers, commissioners, community members, and that sort of thing coming out of it. So I'll move on to, let's see, where are we? Oh, Arbor Day. I love Arbor Day. Our council has a policy. For every tree removed, we replace it with 2. That became a little hard on the math when we had to take all the trees down in the Barranca because we got a fire grant to take care of that to make our city safe. There will be in the future the opportunity for people to meet and help us decide what we want to do with that space to make it a better public space. So we haven't quite kept up with the numbers on the 2-to-1, but it's very important for us to keep our community healthy and green. And with as many trees, 125 trees planted in the last 2 years. And we've also, over the last 3 years, have been named a Tree City USA, and we're very proud of that too. So, let's see, moving on, we've had a very interesting year in the police department. You probably saw a bit of press. We had some challenges because we did lose a number of officers to retirements and hiring to other agencies. But we did also, right after the new year, hire a full-time police chief, Don Aguilar. Chief Aguilar and Commander Eric Starna worked together to create a plan to replace the officers that were missing in our department and to make sure that our community stayed safe. We've had the pleasure of having 2 swearing-in ceremonies in the last couple of months. So you can see the pictures here. These are not all new. A few were promotions as well. But I think there's something like 22 or 23 promotions and new officers that have been hired to fill the ranks to keep our community safe. It's a very exciting time. They have seen the support that our community has given to our police department, and they want to come and work in our communities because they see that support. You don't see that in every community in this country or in the world, and in this community, we love our PD, and they feel that, and they're just smiles ear to ear when you walk around the department. It's very exciting to see, and I think we have a great future. We have a few positions to fill, but we're getting there, and we've made huge strides thanks to that program, and I do want to thank the chief and his staff for that. So. The police department has supported and trained our Police Explorer program, which is growing. They're also working on growing the reserve program. In August of 23, 7 explorers participated in a 3-day competition in Arizona, and they were successful with 1st, 2nd, and 4 third-place awards. So they're making names too. And we partnered with the City of Ventura to put on the first certification, safety class in years, and we had 12 participants from Santa Paula, and they were recognized at council at our last meeting. When you do things right, you build trust and confidence. And over the past 2 years, the city has been working, our staff, our council, has worked with Chevron to acquire the iconic and historic building, the Union Oil Building. That has now been transferred to us. We are now owners, proud owners of the building. And we're in the process of RFPs right now as we're getting submissions for ideas for how to best use the building to serve our community. So we are still evaluating those, and decisions will be made later on and announced later on. But in the meantime, I'd like to show a video as well about the oil museum, or the former oil museum. Now we just call it the Union Oil Building until we know how we're going to use it.
Hello, my name is Carlos Juarez, and I'm a member of the Santa Paula City Council, and I'm also a member of the Santa Paula Historical Society. Today, I'm at the California Oil Museum, which is located at 1001 East Main Street in Santa Paula, California. I'm about to tell you a little bit of information about the Oil Museum, but just enough to hopefully entice you and your families to come and visit the museum in person when the doors are open. I want to start off by first of all saying that in the 1800s, Santa Paula was a destination for the agriculture and oil industry. This historic building that you'll visit sometime in the future is iconic and was built in 1890 for a cost of $38,000. It was built by pioneers of Santa Paula, Thomas Bard, Lyman Stewart, and Wallace Hardison. The building was originally the headquarters of the Union Oil Company, and at the turn of the century, the downstairs also served as a hardware store, and you can find some of those pictures online or in historical archives where it was in fact a hardware store. The building itself was eventually changed from offices to a museum, and in June of 1950 it opened its doors as the California Oil Museum. The museum offered a look back at history, commerce, and culture of the area. It also offered a wide range of hands-on exhibits, videos, photographs, and memorabilia. Recent exhibits also included rotating STEM and history exhibits. There was also a recent exhibit of space that was held here at the museum for several weeks.
Thank you. So, as you can see, we're going to have a formal dedication on Saturday of the Union Oil Building. We'll have people from Chevron. The reason it's Chevron and not Union is that they were acquired or merged at some point. So Chevron ended up with the building, and they are coming to celebrate with us on Saturday with a dedication. Everyone is invited, so I hope that you come. It'll be at 12:30 at the Oil Museum. So please put that on your calendar and try and make it. Okay. In the horizon, some things that are coming. On 10th Street, we will soon have a groundbreaking for the new Fire Station 29. It will improve the downtown aesthetics along with increased service capabilities. Meantime, you might notice, or may not have yet, that the fire department has now stationed or staged next to in the parking lot near the Union Oil Building in the meantime during the process of that construction. Also, we'll move on. Yes, we have the long-awaited Phase 1 of the sports park. Should be completed this summer. It's practically there. I understand they're having a little problems with the turf out there, and they want to make sure that it's safe and healthy to use and not be worn out. So that's coming soon, so we will have special events for that. We don't have a picture, I don't believe, up there, but something I want to mention as well or bring up that we have waited a very long time for the bridge to be built between Harvest and the downtown on Santa Paula. It's been a frustration to everyone. It's been out of our hands. It has been other agencies that have been haggling out over the property and its use and how we can construct the bridge. And so one of the things that Deputy City Manager Royas and I did back in Washington was speak with the legislators back there asking for assistance, and they have been working on it with the Army Corps of Engineers and other agencies, trying to get that rolling because of the restrictions, it can only be constructed at certain times of the year. And so we were trying really hard to get it started so that it can be completed next year. That's crucial in our minds to connect our downtown with Harvest. That will give access to the park to the people in the downtown on the western end. It will give easier access to those in Harvest to our downtown. We need that connectivity, and it can't come soon enough. So we are working on that. It's problematic dealing with a lot of the agencies, but there is hope. We're getting really close now. So just wanted to make sure you knew that was coming. Going on, we have, speaking about housing, we have in the economic interest, our economic development department has worked very hard to work with developers of all kinds to develop housing on all levels so that we have housing for everyone that needs and wants housing in our city. People's Place, which is a project by the People Self-Help Project, is scheduled to open this summer, and they're already taking applications. There will be 69 affordable homes along Harvard, and 21 homes will be for farm workers. Additionally, we have, the council has approved over 2,000 units out at Harvest through Louis Limonera. There will be 225 units at the old Kmart site and 298 units at the Red Tail, which is just south of Telegraph on the east end of town. So a lot of housing projects. We're kind of ahead of the game on some of the other cities in the county as far as providing affordable homes of all levels, of all economic levels. That should assist giving businesses a reason to come because it will increase our workforce. And that way we hope as well to keep people in the city working rather than having to leave the city to work. So a lot of good things can come from the housing on the horizon. Oh, and as well on the horizon, and the projects that we're working on, much talk about a future East Area medical pavilion because we'll need to replace the hospital on the hill, which will be decommissioned in a few years. So that will provide jobs and serve the entire valley. And so it's very important that that happens. And we're hopeful as well that there will be some community college courses and additional businesses going in and out in that area. So more jobs, more housing. I think you can feel the energy. This is why we're growing, as President Martinez said. Where'd I go? Uh-oh, I got out of order. All right. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay. As was already been talked about tonight, we want our community to be an arts center. And you have all seen the video of the Hardy Park mural. There's a picture of it again, and I urge you to go and see it. There is a new formation of Santa Paula Arte and Cultura Collective, which is making progress. It is a coalition of Santa Paula Society of Arts, Santa Paula Art Museum, the Chamber, the Cole Creativity Center, the Santa Paula Theater, the De Colores, the Santa Paula Unified School District, House of Magic, the UU Church, and of course the city, all working together on this. So I think there's some great things coming from that organization as it finds its way. Move next. Not a day goes by that I don't hear about Harvard Boulevard. So we have to mention that this is an older city. It's one of the oldest cities and areas in the county. Repairing costs a lot of money and takes time. When the council cobbled together the funds through Measure T funds and water enterprise funds and taxes and all different sorts of ways to find a way to take care of Harvard, the project was projected to be a $16 million project. It's not just paving, it's taking the whole street out and replacing sewer lines and water lines, and it's a huge project and a huge undertaking. When we voted to do it, we knew people would be happy, but we also, someone remarked, be careful what you wish for, because we're all living with a lot of trouble driving down Harvard. I live on the west side. I sometimes take the freeway downtown. So the council recognizes, we realize how difficult this is. We appreciate the patience from the city for this. They're moving along as quickly as we can afford. The $16 million, thank heaven, we did receive $2 million from Congresswoman Brownlee in Congress to help us with that project. We didn't want to start it until we could finish it. You don't want to start a project and run out of funds. So it will be completed. It's projected to be done in July, at the very latest August. Originally, we had thought it would be April, but as they were digging and through the rains, they were finding unusual things underneath that they didn't expect. Old drawings did not say what was really under there, so every time they found something, they'd have to figure out, what is it? Is it live? Is it used? And so it's bless you, it's taken a lot to get through, but it'll be done. And we're going to have a very big celebration about that too. So we hope you'll all come for that. Okay, so we do have a 20-year pavement management plan. We started with 5 years. We're finishing the 4th year of the 5-year plan. And we'll have paved at the end of this section 11 miles of new roads out of 55 in our city as far as center line roads that we count. We've also done 14 miles of slurry coats and repairs for a total of 25 miles. So you can see what we've done. It's not that we're not fixing the streets, we just can't do it fast enough. It's a matter of funding. So this is our challenge. So what we would like for everyone to do is consider doing this. There's a survey called Santa Paula Speaks, and we would like for you to let us know what your priorities are. Do we need to do this? Do we need to accelerate it so it's not going to take 15 years? Do you want to do it in 10? Do you want to do it in 5? And at what cost? So we know it's a priority, but it's also a financial challenge for us as well. So we encourage you to speak up and let us know how you feel about it all. I think we're almost done. Are we to the thank you page yet? Yes. Okay. I'd like, first of all, to thank my husband, Enrique, because he puts up with a lot. I got to go to a meeting. Everyone in public service, and there are a lot of you in here, have to apologize a lot because you got to duck out of whatever you're doing to go run and do something for your project, your organization, your city. So I'd like to thank him. I would like to thank all of you, everyone in this room, the whole city. It's just an extraordinary time for our city, I think. It's a very hopeful time, and we just have so many volunteers. I mean, I should mention as well, not only for the people with city, but also our commissioners and our committee people in our city work very hard for free out of love for the city and wanting to see us do it right. So I'd like to thank them. And in addition, which wasn't in my notes, but I'd be remiss if I did not thank the staff, because you really have an amazing staff that works for you. If some things aren't done, it's on us for not having the revenue to provide enough people to do what we want to do. But they work very hard, and they do it right, and we have an amazing organization in our city. So anyway, with that, I thank you very much for everything.